Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me because there's no way to tell me if the volume on this thing is all the way up. According to this, it is. I'm going to also share this to our tarot group. Hopefully, we get that shared there. So I think I'm doing okay. So forgive me that, I'm just getting things put together at this point. I know we still have like another 3 minutes, but I want to make sure I've shared a whole bunch of things together. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Chris. While we still have a minute or two, I'm asking you to please, send in your questions and all that other sort of stuff. Hi, Mike. Oh, a bunch of people already signing in. That's great. Post your questions. I have a bunch of questions that people had sent me either personally or on the website, on the divination group page, or personally to me. So if you do post a question, I will try my best to get to it. Today I have to get out of here like right on time because I have a flight to Florida, so I'll be there. Hi, Michelle. Hello, Virginia. Ryan. I'm seeing lots of awesome people here. And feel free to share this around to everyone. The purpose of this is to get everybody interactive, whether you're a reader or a client or somebody who's just searching. So it's a little bit different than an awful lot of different things there. Hello, Dawn. Just out of curiosity, where is everybody from? And the reason why I ask this, I want to see what kind of range a show like this is getting. So it would be kind of cool to see, where everybody comes from. Somebody last show, we didn't get to do it last Monday, but the Monday before actually was from England. So it's nice to know that I'm getting a whole bunch there. Hey, Luann. We have Forestburg, New York, which I suppose is further north than me. And hi, Sean. So I'm seeing some good people here. I did invite Jean Satera. Hopefully she gets to come on because I'd like to try different readers to come on in and help me answer some of these questions. But, in Texas, that is awesome. The idea is to have other readers participate in this and other people do the tarot and give some feedback on all of this. So it's 5 o'clock, so we're going to get started. So I hope everybody is doing well. It has been 2 weeks since we've been on, and I'm hoping that this every week is working for you. I don't know if it's too much or too little. It seems like people seem to like this. I'm going to do the best I can on Mondays, depending on my schedule. Hello, Tiffany. Hi, Ty. He's in California, so I know where he's at. I want to know what kind of information everybody is looking for, how far this reach is. I would love it. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the 5 o'clock whistle. I would love it if it was shared with everyone because more people we have, more participation, more feedback, which means the more that we can all learn. And that includes myself. And I've been doing the tarot for decades now. Don't need to go into all the details on there. But I think you kind of get it because how many books can you read? How many classes can you take? How much can you absorb all at once? I've found that while there are many books, like this is a wonderful book that Courtney Weber has, Tarot for One. So any of you that don't do this as a business, but do it for yourselves, that's a great book to have. But I've also learned that by giving readings and getting readings from other people, that also helped me learn by osmosis. And, that wisdom seems to build, in the back of your brain. Like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And I know what that's all about. And, that comes without reading a book. So those were some of the different things that we have. Hi, Jody. Hi, Shireen. And before I forget that, because I see the lovely Michelle, she's my taskmaster here, we are having a psychic fair here at the store. So if you are local, you feel like taking a trip on over here, Hi, Ellen. It is on October 26th. The theme is Halloween, so we want everybody to kind of get dressed up and have some fun. We will have up to 12 different readers, so it will be runes and palm readings and tarot and anything else that we can get together. Hi, Kathleen. So I wanted to start a little bit on the questions that people sent me. And please chime in on this as well. It's not just my word here. So I'm going to start with this. So this one comes from, hi, Cassie. I'm going to try and say hi to everybody. And like I said, please put down where you're from so it gives me a great idea. And as I read the question, please chime in as well. So that would really be great. So this one comes from Tama Bell. I've been using the tarot as a kind of self-care, mental health in my tarot journal. I started by pulling a card a day. I am up to a 6-card reading a day at this point. My deck really speaks to me, and it is my tool for self-awareness. Would you care to comment, or would you comment on how important or how someone knows what deck is right for you? It took me years to find this deck, and her deck is called the Ghetto Tarot. And I have to say this deck is the perfect deck for me. It is amazingly accurate, sensitive, and gentle, yet hard-hitting when it needs to be while I'm remembering it's dealing with oversensitive me. I sometimes feel like I'm sitting in the presence of another person when I'm doing my own. So that's pretty heavy. And I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say that the deck connected with them so much that it feels like someone else is giving them the reading. So Tam, if you're listening, I hope I'm getting the gist of your question right, and make sure that I explain it to everybody. And I know we've touched on how we pick a deck and what works. But this one, she's going a bit deeper. It isn't like, wow, the artwork really works or something. This one has it connects with her on a very deep level. And as she mentioned, sensitivity was a part of this. So we all have many decks. I probably have like 40 or 50 because I also collect because of the artwork. Anybody have that deep connection to a deck? Does anybody actually have that? Okay, so Cassie says, I can completely agree with that feeling. Cassie, do you have a deck that you connect with on such a deep level? Hi, David. It's good to see you there. And Kelly. So we have a bunch of people. We have 2 Kellys, Kelly Graham and Kelly Kelso. Kat, do you have a particular deck that speaks to you on that level, Cassie? Tamara, if you're listening, we just read your question. So I'm asking you people out there, me. So, oops, excuse me, there's a fly running around here. Cassie or anybody there, do you have a deck that really, really speaks to you on that level? And what is that deck? What kind of? So Cassie mentions that she has 2. I would love to, and this one comes from Dawn, I would love to find a deck that I could connect with that way. I always have to go somewhere to get a reading. The Crow deck is what Cassie mentions. That's her daily. So I guess, and Tama, I hope I'm really getting this correct. My daily read, and I'm backing off of what Cassie just said, is my Sacred Circle deck. So that is my go-to. And in fact, it's kind of funny with my coven mates. Now I don't know if it's because it's my energy or that as a coven we all connect and we have that energy. When they come in here and I'll go, everybody calls me Ma. Okay, so I'm Mama B. Ma, I need to do a quick reading. Can I look at your deck? And so it winds up that my deck is actually pretty much used by everybody in my coven. Some people would say, nope, you can't do that. Others say yes. But it seems to work that way here. And I will either use that deck, the Rider-Waite deck, or the Gilded Revere Lenormand, because those are my favorites that really, really, really connect with me. Hi, Kevin. It's good to see you there. And Carolyn. We have awesome people here today. Kathleen writes that I find that a deck depends on my spiritual feeling at the time, the vibes that I get at the time of use. Really good answer. I don't know that it would have ever put it that way, but you're right, because there were times when I just go, you know what? Something's telling me to use this deck this day. Hi, Narina. It's so good to see so many people here. Again, mark down, let me know where you're all from, because that helps me, find out who I'm reaching and such. So the vibe thing is right. Kathleen actually mentions something very, very important there. What is your vibe with a particular deck at that moment in time? People laugh at me or tease me that I still use the Rider-Waite. But the Rider-Waite has a lot of deep symbolism and significance in there that it takes ages to really figure out how that connects with you on an end. So Tama writes, okay, so I have to hit see more because it's not all coming up. I have several decks. They are all good, but only one deck feels that way. The Ghetto Tarot. So I'm just going to, I know it's not the best picture. Okay, and this is the Ghetto Tarot. Alrighty, so I'm hoping you can get an idea as to what. So obviously, there's these are photos that are superimposed or have other symbols superimposed on top of them. Now, I was trying to add somebody, and I'm not sure that it's happening. I'm trying to see here and invite. So Jean, if you're out there, take a look at your invites, because I invited you and Renee in. So if you can, connect and we'll try and do that, okay? So hello, Israel. Hoping I'm touching on everybody's there. So as Tama writes, I do have several decks. I'm leaving the Florida right after here, and I'm actually going to travel with the Rider-Waite deck, because that's what the vibe, as Kathleen so eloquently mentioned, because vibes is the right word, and I'm going to take that deck with me. Yes, about your Rider deck, I also have a few books on symbolism, as well as to steep yourself in for all decks. Yeah, there's interesting thing about the Rider-Waite, and I think I touched on this a little bit, and why I'm not going to discount Rider-Waite for anybody, and this is just my opinion, that you should at least study the Rider-Waite, even if it doesn't quite resonate with you, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the first deck of the modern era. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I haven't seen anything to disprove me, and what I mean by that is the minor arcana, cards in the tarot from the Rider-Waite Smith. Forgive me, I have to add Pamela Smith in there. The minors all have stories on them, and you can kind of look at the cards and see the stories. Before that, the minor arcana did not have those. So it was really groundbreaking when the Rider-Waite Smith deck came out. So I have to give it all the kudos, and there's a lot of deep stories in there. There's triads, in other words, cards that relate to one another, and dualities. There are cards, again, that kind of form partnerships in that. So give it a try. And on another level, there is a lot of courses online and a lot of books that will refer to the Rider-Waite Smith deck. So if you're just looking for stuff online, I would use the Rider-Waite Smith as a springboard, but by no means is it the easiest deck at all. Because if you think that it's the easiest deck, then you haven't studied all of the symbolism in that particular deck. Alrighty. So, great. Sorry about that fly going around here. Hello, Gil Brown, and we now have Sophia. Nice to meet you. Nice to see everybody. Alessandro, hello. It's nice to see you. And again, where was everybody from? I'd love to find that out and get an idea. So, Tama, you really amazing. It was an amazing question. And please, all of you there, still give the feedback, because the conversation still goes on even after the show is over. Hello, Sue. It's so nice to see so many people here, and Sophia, we mentioned that. So let me touch on other questions that we hear. And this one is actually coming from Renee. So Renee, if you're on there, that's great. Is there a talk that you give to new clients before you do their readings? How's that one? To all of you readers out there, and I'm going to repeat that one. Is there a talk you give to new clients before you do their readings? Why would you even give a talk? I'm just poking the bear. Poke, poke, poke. I do give a talk. And the reason why I do that is this. My style of reading is very different than a lot of other people. Especially if they're newbies. In other words, they haven't taken a reading before, or they've only been introduced, friends have done it, or they've done a reading, they read the book, they look at a card, read the book, that sort of thing. So when they come into me, this is my way of doing things, is I sit down and say, have you taken a reading before? And what did you expect out of the reading? Once I do that and I get a gauge as to what they thought the reading was, I tell them, hi, Hillary. And Hillary, congratulations on your 8-year anniversary of your website. Hillary, I'm going to mess this up. I don't know if it's Tarot by Hillary or anything else, but please post that here, all right? Because Hillary is an amazing reader as well. We got some really awesome ones here. So once I tell people that, hi, Tony. Once I tell people, and I start with that, I let them know that I don't like calling myself a fortune teller. And people kind of get shocked with that, right? I always tell people that I give advice for tarot. So there we go. www.tarotbyhillary.com. Alrighty. So that is Hillary, and this is her 8-year anniversary for her website and her business. So, yes, congratulate her. I'm going to look at everybody. So, I'm going to go back to my little story. So, tarot is not, in my opinion, fortune telling for me. You notice how I said me, alrighty? What it is I like to think that I give good advice for the future. Alrighty? That's how I look at it. Hello, Tanisha. Hi, Christine. Yay, Hillary. And Nicholas, I haven't seen you in a long time, Nicholas. Do I make sense with that? Because everybody has their own free will. And I really feel that it's important that I don't influence that free will. I do not tell them what to do. I tell them that this is what I see. And this is what I feel. Because, your intuition comes, from your chakra systems open. We'll get into all of that another time. But when I feel something and then I read the cards, I give them the advice and I say, listen, you can follow this advice or not. And another technique that I will use to help the person is to have them keep a journal about the readings they have. If they decide to come back to me, did they follow that advice? Okay, what was the result? Did they not follow the advice? Okay, fine. And what was the result of that? Because I believe that tarot readers are here to help people. It's not just about the money. Yes, I need to make money. I'm not going to go in that. My electric bill was almost $200, okay, this month. I do need to make the money to support the store. But I don't price gouge anybody, and I give time. I give one-on-one. There are many clients that I have here right now. So, again, I don't look at it as telling the future. I look at it as helping them with advice for the future, and then, what can you do with that? So So Tony writes, hey Bernadette, can you do in the future later shows? I'm only sneaking a peek. Oh, okay. All right, Tony. And yes, good. Everybody, look at that, Hillary. Everybody's congratulating you. Take a look at what Kathleen wrote. That's actually really, really good. The future is not set in stone, and this is coming from Hillary. It shows patterns, and I really like the way that you put that. It does show patterns, alrighty? And I also try and help the person that I'm reading. I will show and go, hey, this is what this card looks like to me. What do you see in there, and what can we do? So it's almost like therapy, or kind of like therapy, but I would never want to influence somebody's decision like that. Okay, so to me, that's an important thing. So again, let this macerate in your brains here, and what do you feel about that? I'd love to see everybody go back and forth and give opinions here, you know, on that. So now we have another question by Renee. This is the second one by her. I know you're working, Renee, so I know if you're not on, that you'll be listening to this. Alrighty. Renee writes, do you get readings or do you read for yourself? Both. What about all of you? Okay, now I know that Tama mentioned earlier that she does readings for herself. Now Tama, if you're still listening, when you say you read for yourself, is that just advice of the day stuff, or is it anything deeper, like a specific question in mind? So that's a question for you. So Dawn writes both. Yeah, I do both. Sometimes it's kind of hard, and Hillary writes both. Everybody, yeah, a lot of people are writing both, so that's good. And Shireen now. Good going already. So when I say both, I like to draw advice of the day. There are days when I come in here early enough and when it's quiet. So if any of you have come into the store, and I know many have, I literally lock the door before the day starts here, so I can have some time to do my emails, open up the computer, smudge the store, light my candles, do my daily prayers here. You get it, alrighty? And then I'll take the time, if I have enough time, to draw on specific issues, because sometimes I'm confused about issues, sometimes I'm angry at people, or you know, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle certain situations. Yes, I am Italian and Latin, and I have all these things going on, so I do get angry, alrighty? I try to contain that though. I'm using humor, but aside, yeah, I do. I will read for myself, and the people that read for me are the people that I really thoroughly trust, all right? So I have some people in my coven that will read for me, and believe it or not, my youngest son, Andrew, actually is a pretty good reader. So I've had him draw a card or two in the past. This is long ago. And he's pretty accurate, even though he's not a witch, and you know, he's not into spirituality as a whole. I do know that I know that certain therapists also use the tarot, just to put that out there. But I will do both. So I do have people read for me, especially if I'm too emotional or too involved with a certain situation. Sometimes I'll just throw a yes or no card, and then I have to stick with that. Hi, Christopher. It's good to see you. Actually, one of the people that has read for me is Christopher Pensack, and I would highly recommend getting a reading from him as well. His style, he's very gentle. He's very direct in giving the information out. He starts off with a gentle prayer that gets the person in the mood, and then you're ready to receive that information. And I don't know if you remember that, Christopher, but it was a long time ago, but I still remember that reading, so not all readings affect me that way. Another person that has read for me, or persons, was Raven Gormasi and Stephanie Taylor, because theirs was totally unique based on their decks that they developed, and they did the readings together to have that male and female aspect. So there was a balance to it. And I thought it was really, really interesting. I've never seen anything like that before, and I doubt that I'll see too much more, since, So that is some of the experiences that I've had with readings. My daughter does tarot readings, but she also is a natural medium. And so many of you know that, I lost a child last year, and I was going to her. And we actually did a session, which was very, very cool, and I felt he came through. So it was very healing and therapeutic for me as well. So those are some of the things that I've done in regards to readings for myself and some of the experiences that I've had. Now, I'm actually going to throw something out at you. Has anybody had a bad reading? Think about that. Have any of you had a bad reading, and what was your experience with that? I had mentioned, I think 2 or 3 weeks before, an example of that where somebody came into me and she was literally shaking. She was told by a bad reader, I'm going to use that term, okay? Dawn writes, oh my God, many. Dawn, if you would, could you share your experience here? And I'm going to try and read that out there. This woman came to me, she was shaking. She took a reading, and the reader told her that her husband was cheating on her with 3 girls, and man, if he had the energy for that. I'm using humor, but you kind of get. Yeah, okay, Shireen says she has. When I was 12, a reader told me I was going to jump from relationship to relationship and die before 27. Now, who the hell does that? So you get what I'm talking about? Somebody told her future. So if Hillary wasn't a stable person, and yes, Hillary, I use that word stable, what could she have done with that information? What would it have done to her? The woman that came to me was shaking because of what was happening. She believed it and almost divorced her husband. So that's how serious some people take tarot. So ethics is a huge thing, and I've taught a class on ethics at a couple of festivals, and it was nice to have that discussion as to what ethics means in regards to the tarot or any other form of reading. It could be runes, it could be pendulums, it could be tea leaf, it could be coffee readings, it could be oil in the water, so many more. Happy to say that I turned 38 on my last birthday and have been married for 4 years. Absolutely. That reading fueled me to become the ethical reader that I am. So she took that negative reading and that energy and turned it into something really, really positive. Talk about alchemy. So Hillary, yay. That's the examples that I'm wanting to hear. There was a person a couple of years ago when I was still at my old store. I was at 296. I'm now at 282 Main Street. Hello, Cynthia. I've never had one before. You are in Louisiana because you're one of Renee's followers. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I love the fact that Dawn said she walked out on a reading. You know what? So be it. If you feel that it's unethical, what are you going to do? So getting back to my small story is a person had opened up a couple of stores down for me, and she literally wanted to also rent space in my store. And I looked at her and I said, who do you think you are? I said, I'm here for how many years and you're opening up? Like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. But she was doing $10 readings. And what that meant, and what people had come in, was a $10 reading. She would literally say there was a bad spirit on you, or there was a curse put on your family, and that you need me, the woman, to light a candle and do a prayer vigil for a week or 2 or 3, and it would cost $300, $400, or $500. And she lasted 6 months. And I'm surprised that it was even that. So that was just one example. Hi, Nancy. Hello, how are you? So you get, those are some examples of bad readings. And of course, Hollywood doesn't make it any better. So again, tell me a bit about your bad readings. And I know that this is kind of flying by here, but I've kind of had to help people in regards to those bad readings, right? So, what are your own personal ethics? So we talk about that a little bit. And again, I'm only going to tell you my ethics. Hi, Carly. I've had many people that are here I have read for or have taught. Okay, so I'm proud to say that, and I'm very proud to say that my readers are all over the United States, and I'm really happy. Hi, Doreen. So what does that mean? Ethics. You have to try and get your personal feelings out of it. Okay? Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm looking at everybody. So, hey, I hope I'm pronouncing your name, hon. Leah. Again, where is everybody from? I'd like to know what towns, what countries, believe it or not, what cities. And it's going to help me with marketing certain things that I want to put out. But it's important to stay neutral and non-judgmental in a reading. And that's very, very important. Hi, Christy. Christy Moore Bergeron. I hope I'm saying that right, honey. Morgan City, Louisiana. Or Louisiana. I hope I'm saying that right. And Danette. Okay, Helona, don't worry. You know that this will be replayed, so it's not a problem. Back to the ethics here. As you can see how this really, really can affect people. So one thing I did learn, and I learned this in management training because I worked in corporate, I worked in the entertainment industry. I've done an awful lot, so I had to take management classes and stuff. But there was one thing that stuck with me, and they call it the God syndrome. And again, I think I mentioned this, that people look to you for advice, and they call that the God syndrome if they become obsessed with coming to you for that advice. So you have to take yourself out of it. Alrighty? So I will tell people this is what I see, but it's based on the cards as much as possible. Alright? Hi, Michelle. I think you get where I'm coming from. So you have to stay neutral and non-judgmental. I don't let people come to me like every day, and there are people that would want to come to me every day or every week, and I feel that I would just be ripping them off, and I don't want to do that. I have to deal. There's karma involved. I have a strong belief in karma, and if the deal here is that I'm trying to help somebody out, well, if they come to me for this decision making, then they can't do it for themselves. So the idea is that I want to help them make these decisions for themselves. So some people would say, hey, you're going to lose money. Well, it's not about the money. It is for me to survive as a metaphysical store, but I'm not about to rake in as much money as possible in any way possible, and I won't do it in an unethical way when it comes to people's hearts and minds, their intellect, and their spirituality. I will not mess with that. So if anybody's had a reading, hi Stacy, if anybody's had a reading for me, you know that I'm not light and fluffy. Nope. And I have been known to curse a time or two. And I've tried to help when people are in tears, which happens a lot. There are people who come to me when they're very depressed. I read on very, very heavy issues. So I'm going to put another question out for you. How do you relay heavy-duty answers to another person? So readers, this is all for you. Hi, Danette. How do you relay that information to your clients? So for you readers out there, let this, again, macerate in your brain and tell me how you do that. And then I'll give you what I've done, because I don't want to take all of the time away here from questions. But think about that. How do you relay sensitive information, all right, to another person? It has to do with health, or if it has to do with a family member, it has to do with somebody passing on, or an animal that's passed on. How do you relay that information? So that's what I want you to think about, how that question applies to you and how you do it. And for all of you that are clients or you have readings, what would you expect from an answer like that? Think about how I worded that question. What would you expect from something like that? Okay, so that's one big question, but there's two. It's two-sided. Alrighty, so here is another question. So Michelle, I hope you're still there, Michelle Gorda. How about doing a specific two cards together and how their meanings change when next to a different card? This is my journey now. Trying to learn from the combinations, not just the meaning of the card, all right? Not just the meaning, I hope I'm reading that right. Does that make any sense? Not sure how to get a question out of it or if I've explained it correctly. So combinations. Actually, Michelle, we did touch on that a long time ago. Michelle is one of the people that sometimes comes to me for private one-on-one lessons, and she has taken group lessons with me as well. How does that work? Combinations are really interesting. You know what? Go figure. I didn't put my deck right next to me, but go figure. So how do two card combinations or three card combinations change? Alrighty. How to... Hi, hello, John. Hello, Wick Legrand. How does that change? Well, if you took something like let's say the Fool card, and I'm just going to say hypothetically, let's say the Five of Pentacles. Well, to me, and I'm just using the Rider-Waite in my mind, okay? The Fool card combined with the Five of Pentacles, to me, says, hey, you know, there's some issues in dealing with money. You need to learn how to deal with money, because to me, the Fool is about new beginnings, but it's also about learning the path, because it's the very start of a path. So combined with the Five of Pentacles would say, hey, you need to kind of figure things out here. Most kids, most young people are like that. They don't know how to work with money. You know, to me, it's like it's a bit of a warning sign that says, hey, you better learn how to do this. If it was switched, where you have the Five of Pentacles and then you have the Fool card, to me it starts. Maybe you had real big issues with money. And again, I'm just throwing this out now. I don't have the cards in front of me. You had big issues with money, but now you have a chance for a new start. So the meaning changes if you transpose the cards. So that's an example. Hi, Renee. I'm watching from work. I won't say that. I won't. We won't tell anybody. So good. Now you're going to see that people are actually answering that. So how do combinations work? That could be a whole other talk that we have, which would be kind of cool to touch on. And again, any other readers out there, please chime in on that, because again, that's what this show is about. Alrighty. So I think you kind of get where I'm coming from, and they can have very different readings. Also, as Kathleen had mentioned, what's also the vibe of the readings. So can you do another combo? You know what? I'm going to get my cards. So forgive me, I'm going to walk away for just a second. Alrighty, I'll be right back because I forgot to put it on my table here. So hold on 1 second, and I'm going to get my cards here. Alrighty. Alright, so So forget about that. I know you hear me, but at least I have this here. So another combo. So let's look at this. So I'm throwing down the Magician card, which is the wild deck that we have here. So I have the Magician here, and I'm going to throw another card next to it. Trying not to... Okay, all right. So I put together the Magician and the Star. All right, I hope everybody can see that. So my take on this is my take, okay? And this is, kind of a monochromatic deck. So the Magician to me is the person's ability to achieve what they want in life no matter what. There's two. The Magician can be sleight of hand, which could be a liar. Or if the Magician card comes up, and again, I'm just using, this is my opinion, I know others may have a different take on that. The Magician would also mean the ability, using all the tools that you have, whether it's your wiles or your intellect or, using those brain cells that you got in here, or magic, to make things happen the way the Magician can make things happen, right? It's the energy it's the ability to manipulate those energies, right? That's some explanation of magic. And next to it is the Star, alrighty? So this is the combo that I have, alrighty? So that with the Star is, to me, when you wish upon a star, I'm using a very simplistic explanation on this, but using what you have to be able to achieve your dreams and your wishes. Sometimes the star is the light at the end of the tunnel, but that's kind of how I look. So I hope that helps. That's one, another combination I just picked up out of nowhere, all right? Hi, Francine. I love seeing all these people here. It's just really, really awesome. So that's an example of a combination. So Michelle, if you're still there and you can hear me, that's an example that I would use, all righty? So does anybody else have their opinions on that? So really, this was a really, really good one. I kind of like that. I wanted to, okay. There's a whole bunch of different questions here that I want to make sure that it's not redundant. Alrighty. Here's a good one. What makes a good reader to you? Yay, Hillary. That's pretty much the take that I got on that combination. Alrighty. What makes a good reader? Oh, okay, Leah. So you have trouble understanding the Star card. You know what, Hillary? Am I able to, if I can, Hillary, can I invite you? Because it would be kind of nice. I want to see if I'm able to get you in here. So I'm so professional doing this while I'm on line here. So Hillary, if you're on, I sent you an invite. If you're able to get on, that would be great because I would love your take. So all you have to do is hit accept the invite and then you'll come up here if you're able to do so. So you have trouble understanding the Star card. I'm going to give you my explanation on this, Leah. When you think about a star, when you're looking at the stars, oh, you're at work. Okay, so don't worry. My day job. I'm lucky enough that this is my day job. Hello, Deborah. So when I look at the star, when you were a child, you see my pentagram there. When you look at the star, it makes you wonder. You know, when you were a kid and you looked at the stars and you're always told to wish upon a star, and maybe your dreams were associated with the star. So, okay. So I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna touch on that good point that you make there, hon. So to me, the star is about wonderment and the dreams that you, sorry, there's a fly here. What it is that you want to achieve and that connection to the star, if you remember that wonderment that you would have when you were younger. I understand what you're saying about the top deck, okay? That might be their explanation, okay? And I get that. Hi, Sandy. I get that. But what does it mean to you? And to me, this is, darn thing won't leave me alone. That is more important than what an artist's take on their deck is. I know that might sound, a little crazy, but if the star card and the explanation for the star card of that particular deck, and it could be any deck, doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. So you come up with your own explanation of that deck and what it means to you. So for anybody who has trouble with their decks or decks in general, hi Craig, what I would suggest is keep a journal of it. And before you even open the booklets or the books or all that information, again, there goes this fly. Before you even do that, keep a journal. I don't know why this thing is attacking me. Keep a journal and write down your feelings. Some people will open up a deck and just pull a card of the day and then jot down what that means to me. What it means to you. I'm sorry, this thing is just really annoying me. Does that make sense? Hey Craig, yes. And Marianne, hello sweetie. It's so good. Hey Kelly. So Leah, take a look at that, and if that particular deck isn't working for you, or I should say the explanation of that card doesn't work for you, then you figure out what it means to you, and you journal that and memorize it in that way. So that is my write down your impressions. Exactly. Perfect. Hey Anthony, childhood friend from when I was little. And hello Colleen. So you get how that works. So there are many decks where I go like, what does that mean? It won't work for me, and that's happened to me before. So, you're working with a deck, you love a deck, and that's great. But if a card doesn't resonate with their meaning, well then what's your meaning for it? You get what I mean? That's how that's going to work for you. So think about what that means here. So let's touch on something else. Sometimes makes absolutely no sense. And some of the newer decks with what it says clone decks. Okay, got it. There are a lot of clone decks, and the clone decks mean they're based on Rider-Waite, and they're very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith. Rider-Waite-Smith, I have to keep remembering that. Keep the conversation going because I'm really, really liking this here. So, another question I have. What tools do you use for your form of divination? Do you use crystals? Do you use herbs? Do you use incense? What tools that maybe even I don't know about? And why? Why do you use these tools? How does it help you? I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Tell me what that is. Alrighty, so I'm just using this as an example. I sell a lot of crystals out of the store. So this dude is pretty impressive. Alrighty, and this is a clear quartz. And we'll do some stuff on crystals, by the way, because I've gotten a lot of responses for that one, okay? So I love clear quartz because clear quartz vibrates. It helps, depending on the intent. So I can take this clear quartz and I'll cleanse it. That could be in the sun. Like in my store, I have all my crystals in the window. So the sun and the moon will cleanse and keep the crystals as clean as possible. I still have salt that I keep in the store. And I also love keeping selenite next to my crystals. So I'd like to think that, yep, it is Dama. It's a gorgeous piece. I'd like to think that I keep my crystals as clean as possible because a lot of people come in here and a lot of people touch crystals and stuff. So for my personal use, I make sure that everything is nice and clean. in my tarot room, I have a large sphere, this big, of selenite in my tarot room because my experience with selenite is very calming. I get a serene feeling from that particular crystal or stone. And that's due to the fact that, number one, the energies that I get from some people can be quite harsh. And I try to keep things on a very calm, pleasant, serene level. And to me, selenite does that. I know that not every crystal works the same for one another. And I'll have the clear quartz with that next to it. But my number one favorite would be labradorite. Alrighty. Are crystals good for anxiety, Doreen? Absolutely. To me, absolutely. You need to find out what the source of the anxiety is, and then we can put together or prescribe the crystals that are right for you. So that combined with labradorite, and I keep labradorite on me. It's on my bracelet. I carry it with me. I have it in my tarot room because I believe it protects my third eye. Alrighty. The color, the blues and the purples. And laughingly, but people will kind of understand it, my wedding band is sapphire. I chose sapphire instead of diamonds, even though there's little diamonds around it. Again, for the third eye. And then the diamonds around it will just amplify that. Like, very much like a quartz, help amplify that energy. Because I believe, along with some black tourmaline, in protecting my third eye. My mentors and my high priest and priestess, as others here, Janet Farah and Gavin Bone. And Gavin has done a lot of chakra work on me. And he keeps saying that my third eye is just way out of balance. And it's because I use it every day and I do readings every day. And if I don't take control of that, I'm not going to be good for anybody else. All right? I can't take on the stuff of others. So those are my stones of choice. All right? So any of you other readers use readers or clients, what stones do you use? And I suppose, do you want to do a class just on crystals? Because that would be yeah, you get what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm like, once in a blue moon I use incense. You should buy the store next to your store. I call it the Tarot Coffee Shop. Can you just imagine? I wish I had the funds for that, because that would be really, really, really cool. You know? And now Hillary uses garnet and carnelian as well. And, oh yeah, rainbow moonstone. That's a good one. Hi, Rain. You know, that's a good one. Yeah. Rainbow moonstone would be an excellent one. Another, Tama writes, Herkimer. So, Tama, you're using Herkimer's like I use the diamonds in my ring. So it amplifies the other stone with it. I just have little itty bitty diamonds next to it. It's the sapphire that's the main focus of my my band, because that's on me all the time, so I try to make sure. Yes, a class on crystals. Everything. I like that. Rain wants to learn everything, just like we all do. Okay, Chris Lopez, who is also another reader who will be at our psychic fair, uses ocean jasper. I was part of a game called Tarot Flow. I never heard of that. So, Cassie, maybe when you can write what that's about, and we can talk about that, because that's really, really cool. I had a class on crystal grids here. I carry with me air. Tama, I'm flying, right? And so, to me, I'm using my, I don't know if you could see that. It's Tiger's Eye. So I'm making sure I keep Tiger. I like Tiger's Eye for travel. Alrighty, so being that I'm going to be on an airplane for a couple of hours, I feel it's going to help me, because I don't like staying still for too long, believe it or not. So you get the idea. So these are my tools. So I'm looking at others and reading all of this. It looks as if a lot of people do use different. Oh, smoky quartz. Yeah, I smoky quartz. I'll tell you something about smoky quartz. And Hillary, I don't know if this would apply to you, but when I'm working with children, or maybe people with weakened immune systems, or I don't know if weakened immune system is not the right thing, because I have RA, so my immune system isn't the best. But I like when it comes to protection stones, like a smoky quartz. I love smoky for kids. I love smoky quartz for the elderly. And that's just one example here. So I see Palo Santo, which is great. Look at all these the different things here. I make my husband carry a mix of crystals. That's right, because we can do that, can't we? We can do that to our husbands. And thank you, Rain, about the crystal grid class. I taught this class at CWPN, which is the Connecticut Wiccan Pagan Network, and it really did well here. And then I taught a class here. I'd like to do it again, down the line. Smoky quartz and protection of the innocent. So, okay, it looks as you would think that Hillary and I were like the same person. Okay, we kind of have the same philosophies going on here. I got my dad a bracelet of Tiger's Eye at my first Beltane to help fight against this addiction. Phenomenal. Innocent-minded. That's great, Hillary. So, yeah, I will use smoky quartz. I kind of like, Petersite too. That is great. So, with that in mind, and because I'm on a real tight schedule, I want to do that one card reading that I do for the week. Alrighty? You should write a book. You know what? A lot of people have asked me that. I am not necessarily a writer. I am a teacher for sure. But I would need somebody to do the writing. I've tried many times, and maybe a bite here or a bite here. But I don't want to say I'm not, okay? But it's not my number one talent. But I'm a teacher. And that would be one of my superpowers. So I have to put that out because I have to be confident in what I do, because I do this a lot. And I also teach at festivals. So, I pick and choose certain festivals that I know that I can make, that I can afford to go to, because when I go to these, I have to close the store. So, I have to kind of balance that out. You know what I mean? I am very intriguing. Ooh, I like that. I don't think anybody's ever said that one to me. So, now with that in mind, and I'm going to encourage everybody to keep the discussion going. Just because I'm offline doesn't mean the discussion ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle my cards, and I encourage all of you, if you have your deck with you, to draw a one card reading. Hi, Lisa. And let's see what you come up with. So I'm going to draw. Hi, Otto. Whoa, we got some new people coming here. I'm going to draw on my advice for the week. Okay, so let's see what I get. So I have the World. Ooh, I think I will take that. Looks like it's going to be a good week for me. That's the advice being given to me. Chris, I'm taking my Rider-Waite with me, as well as my Gilded Revere, and keep it in my pocketbook. So I got the World. Okay, so for me, this is going to be a good week for me. All right, because I'm away for the week in Florida. I'm going to be in Western Florida. I'm going to take that advice. I got the world ahead of me. I have lots. I have a feeling that and this is just intuitive stuff, I think that there'll be an opportunity offered me at some point. My sister-in-law wants me to do a couple of things with her, but I think it might be a bit more. So we'll see where this is coming, or something will be presented to me through the week, and I should contemplate it, because the World is pretty much the end of the Fool's journey. And that means something new is going to be coming up, because you end at the World and you kind of come right back up to the Fool's journey, meaning the Fool, and the Fool is that I love. The Fool is one of my favorite cards in the deck. So something new is happening, and it's pretty cool on Mabon or Mabon, however you pronounce it. So see what you guys come up with. I would love to see what your cards are. You can do that here, or if you would, go to Breed's Closet Divination Forum. Join that. I'll approve it, and we can have a nice discussion while we're there. Because when I'm on the plane, I'm supposed to have Wi-Fi. So when I'm on the plane, I can also answer some questions and stuff. I'm only going right here at Stewart Airport. So luckily, the airport is only 10 minutes away from me. So I'm pretty lucky with that. So with that, a blessed equinox, a blessed Mabon or Mabon, however you pronounce it. May the gods and the goddesses and the ancient ones watch over you all. And I'm truly blessed to have all of you in my life, to be able to correspond with, to be able to talk to, and to feed my level of knowledge. I'm always looking for more, always looking to learn, and because of that, I have all of you to thank for. So blessed be everybody. Have an incredible week. I'm not going to be gone. You'll be able to see me from time to time. I just won't be, really pushing too many different things, because I would like to enjoy myself for a little while. Okay, so many blessings, a wonderful holiday. Thank you for honoring me and being here, and feel free to share this video everywhere. And have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye all.